For years he tried, and finally he succeeded. For the first time ever, Chris Borich is going to win snowshoe. Today is his day. Chris Borich wins in West Virginia. Now that that's out of the way, Chris Borich goes back to his business, winning titles. Hello everyone and welcome to Sunday Creek Raceway here in Southern Ohio. This motocross track is your host site for round 9 of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series, the Weisco John Penton GNCC, thus named after one of the legends of American off-road racing, John Penton, who originally imported the KTM motorcycle to the U.S. But today we're not talking motorcycles, we're talking ATVs, and the best woods riders in the world will be doing their business in the woods. Now, this race is known for difficult weather conditions. One year it'll be deep mud, the next year it'll be oppressive heat and humidity. The latter is the case today. It will be a real endurance test for these riders. We'll focus in on Walker Fowler, an Ohio native, hoping to take a win. His rookie season was greeted with a lot of hype. Now, after 8 races, let's get a progress report first from one of the veterans, Johnny Gallagher.
You know, Walker's had a really good rookie season. He's been really consistent, minus a couple of bike issues that he had, but he had a really good attitude coming into this year, and his goal was just to keep that number 5 or possibly try and better it just a little bit and to win a few races, basically to match his 2011 season. And I think it's that realistic, down to reality attitude and demeanor about him that's going to make him successful in racing. He didn't expect to come in and live up to the hype. In fact, he downplayed the hype as much as he could. He's a special kid, definitely has an immense amount of talent, great family and great sponsors behind him. So he's got what it takes to go far, and I see him, being very much involved in the future of the sport, if not the face of it.
So far this season, we have had some issues, and it's been a little harder than last season in XC2, where we didn't have a single bike issue, or I didn't really have to. I rode hard, but I've never had to ride this hard for this long in my life, and I think it's been a challenge. It's been tough, mentally and physically. I had an asthma attack in Georgia. I haven't had one of those in 8 years, I don't think. So it's been a challenge for sure. But we're getting the bugs worked out of the program. I'm in better shape than I've ever been in, and the team's definitely taking even more meticulous care of the machines, and I think we're ready to go.
Well, they're all ready to go. They're down on the starting line now. The hype following Fowler was based on winning 2 races overall last year while coming from row number 2 in the Pro-Am class. So some people thought he was going to dominate as soon as he moved up to the Pro class into row 1. But you can hear the goals are really just to be consistent and to learn. We all know Chris Borich, your defending champ, is still the man to beat. Let's go racing. What a start for Adam McGill on the Precision Moto Experts Lone Star Honda. Going to lead them through, pick up $250 from motorsport.com. Taylor Kaiser on the Balance Racing Yamaha right there in the number 2 spot. And Borich up to 3rd. You don't normally see Borich with these kind of starts. And they're already starting to try to figure out a way around McGill. There goes Kaiser to the inside, a good drive. And he puts the Yamaha to the number 1 spot. A drag race now, they're headed toward the woods. And it's good to control the pace through there, because you can see passing going to be a lot tougher once you're out on the trails. Although we got a problem for Chris Bithell on the MotoWorks Can-Am. Obviously had a tough time getting that machine going. Not sure if that was a result of a crash or if the quad just stalled for some reason. These boys not going to ask questions. Kaiser, McGill, Borich, those are 3 of the big hitters in the series up front early on. And you see Brian Wolf, Kevin Yoho, and there is Fowler. But Kaiser making tracks right now, trying to get away from McGill in different lines on this uphill. It's not about the same at the top. Look like Wolf coming through. Here comes Yoho. And our Rocky Mountain GoPro onboard camera with Fowler. And you get an idea how steep this hill is. The cameras don't do it justice when you see them off the machine, but when you're on board there, you can realize how tough it is. Here's Wolf, here's Yoho on the number 10. They're going to hitch a ride with the leaders. That time that Fowler lost to the uphill. he's going to have to make up some ground. You can see that he cannot see those riders in front. So carrying the flag for the Yamaha team right now is Kaiser, doing a great job right now. Kaiser started the year off with an injured shoulder, has raced his way back into shape. Good battle here between Wolf and Boric, and Wolf going for it, makes the pass. I know that's the defending series champion, just got around, but that is not a surprise. Speed and daring have never been a question with Wolf. More Rocky Mountain GoPro footage here with Fowler, who's now behind the number 7 of the National Guard Honda of Jared McClure. So Fowler going backwards while his teammate Kaiser begins to pull away. There's McGill in second, and Boric has gotten back around Wolf. And there goes Yoho. Let's give a shout out to Yoho's team. I'll say it on the air. The Big Nuts Racing Squad, a privateer group. They race a bunch of different classes out here. They are truly the grassroots of the series. How about the number 4 of Bithell getting up into contention? Remember, we saw him off the machine early on, and he was begun to close back up. In the dust, Boric making a move on McGill to get to the number 2 position. You're out in this heat here, and you really begin to feel it down in the woods. It's a little shady. They were running through some water. We mentioned that heat and humidity would be a factor today. Look at how fast Fowler is running through this field section, and you wonder what they can see in the dust. Not much. Riding in braille here, basically, as he tries to keep in touch with the lead group. Kaiser, Boric, McGill, 1, 2, 3. And then it's Wolf, followed by Yoho, McClure, and this should be Fowler next. So Fowler's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch the lead group. But Taylor Kaiser up front and looking to make tracks. Stay with us.
The Can-Am Renegade 1000 XXC with the most powerful engine in the industry. The Outlander 1000 XT with a redesigned chassis for unequal trail riding. The Commander 1000 Limited, the most equipped, luxurious side-by-side in the industry. The facts say it's the most advanced lineup out there. But the ride says it all.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATVMC. And trouble here for your leader, Taylor Kaiser, stalls the machine coming out of the pits. Chris Boric still in the pits getting fuel, and he's shaking his head as well. And everyone having their problems with the pits this time around, and now that leads him to the motocross track. By the way, you're watching Racer TV's coverage of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series, and you're watching Adam McGill taking the lead from Taylor Kaiser, and Kaiser almost looped out on that uphill section. Chris Boric at the number 3 spot closing in. Who really wants the lead in this race? All 3 of them having their troubles. Now Boric going after Kaiser. And a real game of cat and mouse through here, as McGill begins to open it up a little bit as we're back into the woods. And he's a West Virginia native, but does not live too far away from this track, so he's got some fans out there in the woods. There goes Boric in second, and Kaiser pushed back to third and losing a little bit of ground on that steep uphill. I just want to explain, there's always some strategy at work here. Some riders would choose to lead these races late rather than early, and that is normally the strategy of that man, Chris Boric. But today, they're going to cut the race a little bit shorter than usual. Instead of the 2-hour race, well, let's put it this way, normally they run the races to get as close to the 2-hour mark as possible. That means you might go 2 hours and 10 minutes as opposed to 1:45. Today, they're going to make sure the race does not go beyond 2 hours. Now, looking at the lap times, they've decided that they can go 4 laps, and that'll put them around the 1:40 mark for this race. That'll be a little bit shorter than usual. On a normal race day, we'd run that extra 5th lap. They're about 25-minute laps today. That put us at 2 hours and 5 minutes. So because of the heat and humidity, it's nearly 100 degrees today. They're going to give the riders 1 less lap than usual. So we'll see how that impacts it Normally a rider like Boric waits until the last lap to put on his charge, but you've got to wonder if someone is going to attack a little bit earlier today. Kaiser is right back in this thing, duking it out with Boric as they slip and slide up these hills. Fowler trying to get back in it. He's right behind Bithell, who has put on a phenomenal charge. Bithell off the machine in the second turn of this race, was dead last, and now finds himself in the top 4. So a lot of different things to watch here. You got this 3-pack up front, and it's Kaiser who's gotten around both of them. Must have been a mistake for both McGill and Boric. So Kaiser, who had lost a bunch of ground in third, catches back up, takes the lead, and now it's a duel for the number 2 spot between McGill and Boric, and these two have had so many great races over the last couple of years. This is through the mulch pile here at Sunday Creek. They use that mulch to spread it onto the motocross track to let some of the moisture stick. Now we've got to change up again. Kaiser has dropped back to third, and McGill back into the lead. These guys are definitely pushing the pace in the woods. To have those types of lead changes, you've got to figure that mistakes are what has led to that, and that's usually a byproduct of these riders pushing. Normally the opening laps, everyone kind of chills out, cruises around. Now it's time for McGill to take a pit stop. We saw that Boric and Kaiser went through in the previous lap, so the lead for McGill is now gone. Boric, as they cycle through, is in the lead on his Yoshimura Suzuki. We'll see if anyone can catch him after this.
When it's time to get ready to ride and you need gear, it's time to go to RockyMountainATV.com. With the largest selection of ATV parts, apparel, and accessories, we have what you need at deep discounts. We have a huge state-of-the-art facility that ensures your order ships out quickly with accuracy that's second to none. Most items ship free and arrive at your door in 3 days or less. Visit our industry-leading website, RockyMountainATV.com today for the best prices, quickest shipping, online support, and largest in-stock selection around. RockyMountainATV.com. Get ready.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV-MC. Give you the highlights of our morning race here at the Weisco John Penton GNCC. There's the Utility Unlimited Class in Clifton Beasley, grabbing a whole shot there. This morning race for utility machines like this. Also the 4x4 lights and open classes for machines that come from the factory with racks. It's a limited division for machines without racks, like the Can-Am Renegade there. 4x4 open class today would be run by Brian Buchanan. Another classic battle between he and Michael Swift. Buchanan would win it by 12 seconds. But as always, the man to beat in the morning race for the overall is super senior mastermind Dave Simmons. The Ohio native was just as strong and aggressive today as he usually is. He would not only win his class, but win the overall on adjusted time with riding like that. Also, the women's class very competitive here. You see the 206 of Angel Atwell would finish third, Tracy Checo second, and Texas native Lexi Coulter takes the women's class win. And here's her top 3 overall. In the middle, Simmons. On the left, Cliff Beasley, who wins Utility Unlimited, and Kevin Trantham on the right wins the 4x4 lights class. He was second overall ahead of Beasley. Chris Boric leading the way as we switch back to our afternoon race and beginning to extend it. Adam McGill, who's led a couple of different times today, lost the lead when he had to pit. Pitted a lap later than Boric, so Boric just stayed close after pitting early. There's Taylor Kaiser on the Yamaha, the number 3 spot, and Chris Bithell, who has to have spent a lot of energy and a come-from-behind charge today to get to 4th in the heat. We'll see how long he can hang on. He's in 4th. You know he would like to get in the top 3 and get it on the podium. But can anyone catch Boric today? I've got to wonder if the typical Chris Boric last lap charge is going to be put on the shelf today. It's a little bit shorter race due to the heat. We've cut 1 lap from the typical event time. Man, what is happening to Kaiser? He stalled again. Remember, he stalled coming out of the pits earlier, and he stalls again at the base of this hill. And that might open the door for Bithell to close up a bit. And there is Fowler beginning to climb back into contention. Kid had a tough go of it in the opening lap. And that has been one of the things they're working on with Fowler, those early mistakes early on. He's got to put that behind him, not get frustrated. Don't let it ruin your day. You're going to have problems in a typical 2-hour cross-country race. And these guys shrug it off. Some of them dwell on it. That's one of the big differences, and Fowler is learning as he goes and making passes. It looks like he has gotten around Bithell to get to the number 4 spot. Sound like some fans over there trying to point out the good lines for Boric, who has extended it again over McGill. But McGill's got more fans than maybe anyone out here. As we mentioned, he is a local product, not from the state of Ohio, but the West Virginia state line not too far from here. He's very comfortable on this soil, and it's on this track years ago where McGill really started to make a splash when he nearly won the overall from the Pro-Am second row and then had to rush out of here to make his prom. Now a couple of years later, he is one of the established and consistent stars of this pro class and running second today. But I don't know if anyone's going to catch Chris Boric. It's hard enough to beat the guy when you're ahead of him on the last lap. When he's ahead of you late in the game, well, the chances of catching him are pretty remote. And to give you an idea of the type of dominance, Boric could be looking at his 6th straight victory this year if he wins today. He is no less dominant. In fact, if anything, he is even more dominant after winning 3 straight GNCC titles. He's looking for his 4th straight this year. And this might be the best Chris Boric we've seen to date. What was that from McGill? And this guy likes to ham it up for the cameras and for the fans, no doubt about it. But usually if you're going to do the one-hander or a no-footer or a move like that, you want to do it over the jumps. And that's what Boric is doing. He's headed for daylight. I think the white flag is coming out here, and he's starting to feel it. Yeah, styling over the jumps. His lead up to about 30 seconds. Stay with us.
Any engine. Any season. At home. At the track. Or on the trail. Amsoil, the first in synthetics.
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Amsoil, and by Rocky Mountain ATV-MC. Chris Boric powering down here, trying to extend his lead further. It's the last lap of the Weisco John Penton GNCC, and one of the members of his crew there pointing out the good lines here in the uphill. Adam McGill's got the fans pumped up, even throwing another no-legger as he approaches the hill, takes a look at the camera. This guy is always fun to watch. Got to keep the hammer down, though, because Taylor Kaiser, the number 3 spot. No, that is Walker Fowler. Fowler was out of the top 5 early in this one, has really found the pace late in the game. He and Boric were the only riders in the 24-minute range on the next to last lap. Boric actually still a little quicker even than Fowler, and Boric has got a nice lead. That gives you an idea how comfortable he is. Fowler, you can see, has now caught McGill, and we've got a battle for the number 2 position on our hands. And that might be the battle to watch as Boric just trying to add to his legacy and take another victory. A lap rider now splitting McGill and Fowler in this battle for 2nd and 3rd. But a bad line by McGill. Did that potentially open the door up for Fowler? Well, McGill at least knows that he's back there. He knows he can now cruise home at the number 2 spot. There he is. And Fowler, no, still a lap rider in between them, and Fowler not able to get to the line he wanted. So the lap traffic, now the rider pulls over. And remember, those riders are in a race of their own. There are multiple classes out here, not just a pro division. So those guys have a reason to not pull over. Now Fowler's caught back up to McGill. And they are fighting their way uphill, trying to find traction. McGill takes a look over. He knows Fowler is there. This is going to be a great battle for 2nd. I don't think, on the other hand, it will be for the lead. Chris Boric, a virtuoso season, a virtuoso performance today in Ohio. This is the race to watch. And Fowler and McGill have been friends for a long time off the racetrack, but they want to beat each other in the worst way on it. Meanwhile, Chris Boric cruising through this mulch pile on the last lap. He's got this win tucked away. So we'll go back to that battle for the number 2 spot. There is McGill. and he does not have Fowler on his heels. He's actually pulled away a little bit. This is Fowler just entering that mulch pit section. But man, got that Yamaha pegged to the rev limiter to try to make up time. He has to look down to make sure that it didn't damage the machine through there. Chris Borich, meanwhile, looking for his 6th straight victory this year. As I said, this guy looks faster and stronger than ever, and that means a lot when you're talking about a 3-time GNCC champion. It's over. Chris Borich headed to the checkered flag, and he is going to further extend his streak of dominance in GNCC racing. There's the checkered flag. The guy from Sunbury, Pennsylvania has won it again, and McGill going to survive the onslaught from Fowler late. Throws a little style in for the fans. A very popular runner-up ride for Adam McGill. And that privateer program he has put together this season really started to come together. Fowler, very strong late in this race. Going to wish he had the opening lap back, because that prevented him from having any shot at winning today. Although I guess you could say Borich's strong riding was a factor there as well. Here's your AMSOIL results. Kaiser and Bithell had their troubles today, but they recovered to finish in the top 5. Let's talk to the winner. Chris Borich makes it look easy again. Let's talk to him.
It feels good. Today was definitely one of the toughest races I've ever been in a while. It was 100 plus here, and just a little dusty here and there, but all in all, great day for Team Suzuki and Yoshi Rear and all my great sponsors that helped me out. It was a good day.
And a good year. Look at the points lead Borich has. Now we're going to check back in with Walker Fowler. He's got a cure for the heat. Check this out.
Yeah, it was definitely a hot one out there. Just chilling in the pool right now, trying to get the core body temperature down. If you watch any outdoor motocross, they race all summer long, and they'll jump in trash cans or 55-gallon drums, whatever, full of ice. So we don't have that, but we got pond water. Race went real well. Got a decent start, and I ended up spinning out in the 3rd corner, dropped back to about 10th, and just real dusty conditions with it being this hot. It pulled all the moisture out of the ground, and woods were actually really solid. I could make up a lot of time, but as soon as you hit field section, you had to be right on the rear bumper. And that last lap, I thought I had McGill. I was definitely faster than him, but just got a lapper in between us in the field section. He ended up pulling on me enough that his dust, I couldn't see nothing, so I backed it off and just rode in for a 3rd place finish.
And your Can-Am turning point of the race, the start, a rare good one for Chris Borich. And when you put this guy toward the front of the pack early, you can almost guarantee he's going to be up front late. And then finally taking the lead for good. Once Adam McGill had to pit, Borich got his pit stop out of the way early. And once he had the lead, well, there was no stopping him. Meanwhile, battle for 2nd. Lap traffic fouled Fowler up, and that allowed McGill to hold on for the number 2 spot, while the story in GNCC is still the domination of Chris Borich. Congratulations to him. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.